Today on Geeked Out, I take a look at Jack the Giant Slayer, and we find out if Bryan Singer's bold new twist on a classic fairy tale is actually worth looking into. Here we go.
The legends are true. Elmont, assemble a team of your best men.
Yes, sire.
Bring back my daughter.
Your Majesty, I want to volunteer. What do you suppose is up there?
I never suppose. I simply prepare for everything.
So Jack the Giant Slayer is a retelling of Jack and the Beanstalk from our childhood fairy tales, and we get Bryan Singer's idea of what this fairy tale should be. And I gotta say, his idea is a pretty cool idea. He does a lot of cool action sequences, nothing over the top. It has a mixture of a bit of Stardust, if you guys have ever seen it, mixed with a little bit of the grittiness of Snow White and the Huntsman. So that's pretty cool. It's kind of like a mixture of both. The movie's rated PG, so know that when you go in. But it's a little bit darker than just a regular PG. It reminds me a lot of like 80s and early 90s PG movies, because you get a lot of darker humor and some violent scenes. I mean, you don't see them, but you know what's happening. And maybe for the little kiddies, maybe they can't see what's happening, but we know what's happening. And it's still pretty gruesome stuff if you actually think about it. So pretty much what we get here is the same typical story. Jack goes to the market. He comes back with these beans. The beans fall on the floor and water falls on them, and then a beanstalk grows. When this beanstalk grows, the protagonist is princess is played by this hot chick, which I can't remember her name, but she is amazing to look at. She gets stuck up there, and Jack and the army have to go up there and try to save the day. The army is played by Ian McGregor is in this movie. He's amazing. He is like the lead heroic lieutenant, I guess you can say. We have Stanley Tucci playing the typical bad guy, but Stanley Tucci is just amazing in this movie. He's really good. We have his sidekick, who he's not very good, but he didn't bother me because he's not in it long enough to really care about him, so that didn't bother me as much. We have some quirky adult humor. We have some really quirky kid humor, so it's a lot of stuff here. The adult humor isn't something that the kids are gonna really get, so that's cool. But Bryan Singer does know how to do some really cool action sequences, which we all saw in the previous X-Men movies, X-Men 1 and X2. Those were amazing movies, so we know that he's able to do that. But what we get here is a more kid-friendly approach to those movies. We have some cartoonish, typical characters and some really funny moments, but the only problem with this movie for me is the CGI isn't very good. There isn't a lot of character development. The characters just are who they are. We don't see them grow or anything. We just see them, they are who they are from the beginning to end. So that might be a bit of a flaw. But some of the positives are it's funny, action-packed, good action sequences, really good acting from all the leads, I gotta say, except for one who just over the topped it a little bit, but not too much because he's not in it that much. But other than that, all the actors are pretty good. We have some, like I said, some good action. So it's pretty much a good overall movie to see in March, because let's face it, this year we haven't had a lot of really good movies. So the fact that we have a decent movie to watch in March gets me a little bit excited, guys. I mean, this is probably the best movie that's come out this year, if you actually think about it, of one that's blockbuster-y, I guess you can think of. But it's a really good movie. You guys should definitely check it out. On my Geeked Out score, I'm going to give this movie a 3.5 because I just found it to be very entertaining. Maybe a little bit flawed, but not too much. So it's a fun time. You guys should definitely check it out. Jack the Giant Slayer is getting my Geeked Out score of 3.5, guys. Check it out. It's fun time. And as always, guys, make sure you geek out about anything and just have fun with whatever you do, guys. Make sure you have fun with everything. All right, guys. See you guys later.